everybody. My name is Andrea Barron, and I'm proud to be here today to stand with American Muslims. I'm a member of a small group called Washington Area Jews for Jewish-Muslim Understanding, but my work with American Muslims started many, many years ago in the 1980s when my friends and I became involved in the struggle for Israeli-Palestinian peace based on a two-state solution and a Palestinian right to independence. That was a long time ago in the 1980s. Then, after 9/11, my friends and I were very, very worried that Muslim women wearing hijabs might be attacked. So we went to visit a mosque in Falls Church, Virginia, and we said, we're two Jewish women, can we do anything for you? Can we help escort any Muslim women who are being attacked? Fortunately, back in that time, there were no attacks on Muslim women in Falls Church. Now the situation is much, much different. So in the last 10 years, my organization has worked closely with the Adams Center, and our claim to fame is we have a Passover Seder inside the mosque every year. Many of you might know Passover tells the story of how Moses, also a prophet in Islam, led the Israelites out of slavery to freedom in the Promised Land. And what we do is we universalize this, and we talk about the freedom for everyone, freedom for African Americans, freedom for Muslims. We speak out against anti-Semitism, and it's become an annual ritual that we're very, very proud of. Celebrating Passover every year at Adams has also given me and other members of the Jewish community in the Washington, D.C. area the opportunity to get to know personally American Muslim immigrants and second and third generation Muslims too. Most of my Jewish friends are third generation Americans like me. A long time ago, almost 100 years ago, my grandparents immigrated to the United States, fleeing poverty and pogroms in Russia and Eastern Europe to build a new life in America. Jews in America today are doing well, but we cannot forget 2,000 years of history when Jews were persecuted because they were in a religious minority. That's why you're hearing so many speakers today from the Jewish community and in other parts of the country who are in solidarity with American Muslims. And I'm proud to say that Jews are in the forefront of the struggle against Islamophobia when another religious minority is being targeted. The next thing I want to mention, you've already heard today, but I want to expand on this a little bit more because I think it's important to change the narrative in the United States about American Muslims, which is one of the purposes of this event today. So you've heard a little bit about the Muslim health care clinics established around the country. Many people don't know about these clinics. We heard a little bit about them today. Years ago, Jewish and Catholic immigrants founded clinics and hospitals throughout the country that serve not only their own faith communities, but also the general public. That's why we have famous hospitals like Beth Israel and St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Boston, where I'm from, Providence Hospital in Washington, D.C., Mount Sinai in New York. And these hospitals, of course, don't only serve people from those faith communities, they serve everyone. I think the message we want to get across, and I'm sharing this with people all the time, is the Muslim health clinics are serving the general public. They're not only for Muslims, because it's important for the American people to see that these Muslim physicians, nurses are volunteering to help all Americans. The clinic that I'm most familiar with is the Adams Compassionate Healthcare Network. And it was interesting when I looked and I saw where they had the first meeting, I said, oh, that's where we had our Passover Seder. The same place where Muslim doctors are talking about volunteering to help people who are uninsured. Many of you might not know that, but despite Obamacare, there's still 10% of Americans who don't have health care. And the Muslims doctors who founded this clinic, they did it because they see it as a religious obligation for Muslims. They think it's a moral duty to serve others. They say, with Allah's blessing, we will be able to expand and offer free medicine and free lab tests to our patients who cannot afford it. I'm bringing this up again because I think this has to be an important message to everyone, including people who are supporters of Donald Trump. Tell them what American doctors and nurses are doing for free to help all Americans, not only Muslims. Get that message across. The other message I want to talk about, you've also heard, and that was about how Muslims are working together with law enforcement to identify other Muslims who might have become radicalized. It's at the heart of the Muslim cooperation, is at the heart of the FBI's effectiveness to have good relationships. Who said that? That was FBI Director Comey. There's another guy from a certain presidential candidate who thinks that he knows how to make America safe better than the FBI director. The FBI director says we need the cooperation, and we're receiving the cooperation of American Muslims. We need to get that message across because American Muslims are part of the solution. They're not the problem. Finally, I want to say that I hope that this message goes out to a lot of different places, and I think it's wonderful that that woman went to the Republican Party and spoke to them. That's important to get that message across. But I want you finally to know that you're going to hear from another person from the Jewish community now. The Jewish community is on your side, denouncing the hatred and the vitriol we're hearing during this presidential campaign, and we all have to struggle together until we get rid of that hatred. Thank you very much.